Conversations with Iris. Here's your host, my loving wife, Iris.
Hola, mi gente bonita. Hello, beautiful people, beautiful souls, beautiful individuals, and welcome back to Conversations with Iris, the little podcast that could. This is a space where we sit down with just so many great, extraordinary people who remind us that no matter where we are in life, there's always more to live for. There's just life keeps going. Life is too short. Life is still exciting. And let me tell you guys, today's guest, I just am so excited to go ahead and record this because listen, if you ever been said you're like, I'm too old, or no, this is too late, or I can't do this anymore, we're not going to be talking about that today. Go ahead and cancel that mindset right now, okay? Because we're going to be exploring an awesome conversation. I mean, I'm telling you guys, life just keeps going and you need to make the best of it. Today, we're going to be talking to a man who lived and who has said, watch me. This individual, his name is Rand Timmerman, and he is a retired attorney, a Vietnam veteran, and a recovered alcoholic and an author who is in his 70s. In his 70s alone, and he hiked over 2,200 miles of the Appalachian Trails. I can't say that. Appalachian? I can't say that. Oh my God. With his brother, and turned that journey into a powerful, just inspiring book overall called The Spiritual Passage. I love how his story is about that resilience, the grief, the healing, that brotherhood that we still need. And yes, a whole lot of adventure. And it doesn't matter. And it's not stopping him. And he's still going around. He's still out there doing his thing, which I love. And probably some of those wild critters too out there. So, Rand, welcome to Conversations with Iris. Bienvenidos. How are you?
I'm great, Iris. Thank you so much.
Rand, are you there?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Welcome. Bienvenidos to Conversations with Iris. How are you?
I'm great. I'm sorry. I thought you could hear me fine.
No, it's okay. It's okay. For a second there, I couldn't hear you. So it's all good. How are things? And welcome to our show.
Everything's great. I'm really enjoying my book, and I'm doing some other writing. So keeping really busy. I work on my recovery program every day, and I help other men. That gives me a lot of joy. So my life is awesome right now. And I've had some medical problems, but I don't let anything stop me.
I love that. Let me ask you something. How do you say, I think it's because of my language barrier and people could laugh that are listening to the show. We have so many hard problems, like at least Latinos pronouncing CHs. So it's Appalachian Trail. Did I say that correctly or no?
It's Appalachian Trail.
Appalachian. Oh my God. I don't know. I've always struggled with that word. So
A lot of people do.
Appalachian.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's the longest footpath only trail in the whole world. 2,200
Mm.
miles. Goes from Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way up to Kehadden Mountain in Maine. And 2,200 miles, 600 mountains. It goes over the top of everyone.
Holy
And
cow.
about 3 million people hike on the trail every year, Irish, but only about 3,000 try to do the whole thing. 17% or about 450 actually do it every year. It's gloriously beautiful and extremely difficult.
I could only imagine. I could only imagine. And I heard that it's kind of haunted at night. So you weren't trying to hike at night, were you?
No, that is incredibly not a good idea. But some people did it. I can't imagine. We ran onto a couple. We would leave at daylight. Sometimes it was still a little, dark. Not dark, but we always finished around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We averaged 11 miles a day, which is amazing in the mountains. But it would take us from like 7 o'clock to 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
There's 465,000 feet of elevation changes. That's almost 500,000 feet of up and down. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you're either going up or down most of the time.
Right. That is amazing. And let me ask you, Brad, if I were to drop in right now, like if we were right now in the Appalachian Trail, you and I, what is the first thing you would say out loud? Just be honest. I mean, you are hiking, you're probably tired, you don't stay out there too long, but what is the first thing you would scream out and say, this is what I've done in the regarding the Appalachian Trails?
If we see a bear, don't run.
Really?
Right, don't run. Oh my God, there. we had a stretch in the Shenandoah Mountains where we saw a bear every day, and it's actually very dangerous. We ran into a ranger. That section of the trail is 300 square miles, and I said, "There's way too many bears here." And he goes, "Yeah, we did a survey. There's 600 bears." And I said, "That's 2 bears for every square mile."
Mm-mm.
And a lot of those miles, square miles, the bears aren't going to go because it's straight up or straight down. Uh, yeah, but if you see a bear in the woods, don't run.
Really? But
Yeah,
that's
bears
my
don't
first
have very good
instinct.
eyesight.
Really?
They can smell. Dogs can smell like a million times better than we can. Well,
Yeah.
bears can smell like 100 million times better than we can.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and they have very poor eyesight. So what happens is if they see something they think might be food, if it runs, they're going to charge. If it
Mm.
doesn't run, then they're going to. I did fake charging with a bear one day for an hour and a half, and that is soul sucking difficult
Mm.
because they will fake charge you to see if you run,
Oh my
and then
God.
I would fake charge it to try to scare it away. But my knees are going up and down like pistons, but I'm only moving forward about an inch at a time.
Oh my
I don't really
God.
want to charge him, but
So
yeah, Ronnie and I both had experiences with people that were panicking and when we were in the presence of bears, and it's. But so yeah, that's something that would be the first thing I would say to you if we see a bear: don't run.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I could tell this is going to be an awesome conversation. But who is the man behind this wonderful journey? Like, I'm dying to know because, I mean, you were in your 70s. You mentioned that you're now in the 80s with an artificial knee. And most people at this stage just like, I want to slow down, relax, retire. You're not signing up for 2,200 miles of hiking around this time. A lot of people just don't, you know? And then sadly, a lot of us don't even make it past, 70 or that 80 mark. So, what a blessing that you're still here. But who is the man behind this beautiful journey? Tell me, who is Brad? We want to know.
That was Ron, my brother. Basically, Ron and I were both combat veterans from the Vietnam War. And the impetus for Ron having an overwhelming desire to do the trail when he was 71 and I was 72 was the death of Edie, his wife.
Oh,
And
wow.
that is a fantastic story in its own right. When Ronnie came back from the Vietnam War, uh, our mother's best friend Edie was 14 years older than Ron. He had never met her before. And on their first date, Edie brought 3 of her 7 children with her.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
So she's divorced with 7 kids, and he fell madly in love with her. And she was a beautiful woman. I mean, not physically, not just physically. She was a beautiful woman in every way. On the trail one day, we were exhausted. We didn't talk a lot sometimes, but one morning we get ready to go out, and Ronnie said, "Of course, he's missing her terrible, and that's why he decided to walk the trail, hike the trail because of her death." And he said the one thing I liked about Edie the most was every morning when we woke up, she was happy. She was just
Oh.
happy in the morning, looking forward to the day, never had, never down, always up. And I'm thinking, well, where do you find a woman like that?
Mm.
I mean, I got a beautiful wife too, but Edie was definitely kind of a one of a kind person. And they moved to Utah. They got involved in the Mormon church, and they lived out there. And I lived on the East Coast. We'd see each other maybe once a year for a few hours, but they came east a lot when the kids grew up because some of them stayed on the East Coast.
Wow.
And we'd have a little party, and my younger brother, Marty, and I we liked to drink in those days, and we'd get drunk, and then we would mock him for being so perfect and the bishop in the Mormon church for 4 years.
Wow. I can only imagine. I
Yeah,
can
it
only
was
imagine.
good natured stuff. We always got along, but we really, we didn't know each other. But you hike the Appalachian Trail with somebody, you're going to know them really, really well. My brother was, oh my God, toughest guy. I couldn't have done it with if he hadn't been the inspiration, I'm sure. In the book I wrote, I put in there 2 weeks max. And I took 5,000 pictures. So the book has 500 pictures, and it shows where we went from and to every day. And then you can visualize by looking at the pictures what it looked like in that area and stuff like that. And then after the first 2 weeks, I had put in there 2 weeks max. And my
Mm.
brother's reading it, and he goes, "You didn't think we could do it, bro?" I said, "No, Ronnie, I got an artificial knee. I mean, oh my God, I limp so bad. My right leg is half an inch shorter than my left, and
Oh no.
yeah. So I had some, but I ran 26 marathons. Ronnie worked out every day. We were both kind of warrior guys. Worked out during the week. I did cross country ski races, 32 miles in the wintertime. And we were kind of freaks in that way, but we're not big men. I'm both about 5'8", 175 pounds. We're nothing special to look at. You look at it and say, well, those guys probably hurt themselves bowling or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. So wanted to go back to that because you mentioned you decided to do this trail. You were like, oh, let's just go for it. You were inspired by, the grief and your loss that your brother was going through, at that moment. I mean, let me ask you, what was that right moment in life that just pushed you towards that decision to like, you know what? I'm going to start documenting everything. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a journal and write everything I feel, what I see around me. What was that turning point when you were doing this trail with your brother?
Yeah, I think it was divinely inspired for me. I didn't have any spiritual desire or any belief in a higher power. Ronnie obviously always did. His whole life, and we talked about that some, but I didn't. And then alcohol took over my life in my late 50s, early 60s, and I had to go through a recovery program, which I'm still very involved in every day, and I work with other men every day. And but in order to do that successfully, I had to make a connection with a higher power,
Yeah.
and that power. So I was 4 years sober. I'll be 12 years sober on May 5th. So like 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And prepared me for this unexpected situation because I had hiked in the Smoky Mountains quite a bit, weekend warrior type stuff, go walk in the woods, and play with the bears and the snakes and stuff
Yeah, yeah.
on the weekends once in a while. And I kind of knew what to expect. But when Edie died, Ronnie really took it very hard. I was talking to him on the phone, and she died November 17th, 2017. Talked to him on the phone. I said, well, why don't I come out? And I went out there in January. We were hiking in the desert. And I said, you told me on the phone you might hike the Appalachian Trail. That's kind of a crazy idea. And he said, well, I'm going to do it, bro.
I like that,
And
bro.
I go, Ronnie, I mean, how are you going to do that? And he said, well, he said, I've already got all the maps and my gear. He actually was well prepared. He'd studied it. He'd gotten some books on it. He got all the gear. He had done a lot of hiking himself, camping in the wilderness. So we were both kind of similar in that. I was pretty impressed by how much work he'd done. But he said, I'm going to take a bus to Springer Mountain, Georgia and start walking. And I said, well,
Mm.
that's not a very good plan, bro. And I said, I'll go with you. And he said, really? I said, yeah. And that's not, but Iris, I was really thinking, I'm going to just kind of pacify him. We'll go down there. We'll probably hike for 2 weeks or something. And then he'll say,
Yeah.
well, enough of this. And that'll be the end of it. That's what my mindset was. If I had thought that I had to do the whole thing, I don't know if I could manage that. I learned in my recovery program one day at a time. You just deal with what you have to deal with one day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we ended up doing, and one step at a time, which became my mantra. We averaged 45 to 50,000 steps a day. If you can imagine
Whoa.
climbing mountains and going down is harder than going up, actually, with a pack and everything. But if I thought about it in shorter intervals, it didn't seem so overwhelming. So, but when Ronnie read that,
Yeah.
he said, you didn't think we could do it? I said, no, I didn't.
I mean, 50,000 steps a day, I would have kind of scratched my head here. I would have been like, oh, I don't know. I kind of feel kind of scared about this and all the uninvited creatures that come your way. I mean, you mentioned bears and snakes. I mean, what other creatures you ran into? I gotta know.
Oh my gosh, pretty much everything. One day, I think I was in Massachusetts when this happened. I'm on a ridge, top of a mountain, but it's forested. It's not. I wasn't above the tree line, which is where you end up when you get into the whites in New Hampshire and like that. All of a sudden, a pack of coyotes. I heard a noise behind me, and I turn around.
Oh my
And
God.
5 coyotes go flying by me. I mean, they parted like a wave. I'm standing in the trail and they're coming at me like 5, and they parted and ran right around, went by me on both sides, and they're flying. I didn't even have time to get a picture. So I'm
Oh my
standing there kind
God.
of shaking a little bit, watch them go out of sight, and I go, well, what the heck? And I turn around and I start looking from where they came, and then all of a sudden I see a bear.
Oh my gosh. No
Yeah,
wonder they
and
were
then I
running
go,
away.
oh my gosh, that's what happened. And the bear didn't come down the trail. The bear kind of veered off and went in a different direction. Thank God.
Oh my God. Were you scared at that point? Was that the scariest thing you encountered up there on your trail?
No, no,
Mm.
it wasn't, but it was one of those moments for sure. I was disappointed I didn't get a chance to. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime thing, right? That'll never
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of the campers, well, everybody was way younger than us. I mean, people in their 40s and 50s look like teenagers to me at that point in life.
Yeah.
The older you get, the harder it is to figure out how old people are. And most of the ones that are through hikers tend to be in their late 20s, 30s, 40s is kind of like the prime age of the ones that are going to actually make it because they got the energy and all that stuff. But the problem was a lot of them. I went to there's shelters all along the trail, but they're never at the top of the trail. They're down off the mountain where the water is.
Okay.
Now, Ronnie did this whole thing differently. He just marched. He just walked, kind of head down, soldier. I got to go 13 miles today, whatever. I'm just doing it. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm.
I was more like, I'm never going to walk this way again. I'm going to just take it all in. So I took 5,000 pictures, and some days I would take 40 or 50 pictures. I'd come around a corner on the mountain. I go, oh my God, look at that. And
Wow.
then take a picture. And then, 20 minutes later, look, and I take another picture and so on. So, but I was going off the trail to the shelters to sign into the log. Somehow I had it in my head that, um, so I might do something about it later on to document it. But I didn't really
Nice.
think about it writing a book or anything. Ronnie and I both had journals. We both kept journals. His was completely different than mine, so that helped out when I actually did do the book. But the problem was when you were walking down to the shelter, usually I could smell the smoke before I could see the building.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So
Mm-mm.
a lot of these hikers, when you meet them in the daytime, most of them had earplugs in. So they can't hear anything, right? They're listening to music or whatever, and they would have bugaboo eyes.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they're not really alert. Not
Mm-mm.
nothing. Ronnie and I were on a totally different plane, right? I'm totally into the whole nature, the sounds of the forest, the wind, the rain, the snow. I mean, all of it, right? I'm just surviving it, taking it in as part of the experience. But I really worried about other hikers. One fell off the trail at one point. That turned out to
Oh
be kind of
no.
a nightmare I got involved in. But snakes. So if I came across a snake, especially if most snakes just get right off the trail, right?
Yeah.
The rattlers and the copperheads and the cottonmouths, they kind of like to play around with you a little bit. So I would be
Mm.
using my hiking sticks to try to get them off the trail. Well, one day there's this rattlesnake there. Most of the time they don't coil; they just slowly, get away from you. Some of
Yeah.
them got to get away fast, but this one coiled on me.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
oh my God, this guy
I
is
would be screaming. Oh God.
well. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And then I look down at my feet, and there's a chipmunk laying beside me with 2 spots of blood on it. and it's quivering. And
Oh
then I
no.
realized the snake bit the chipmunk, and it's food, right? That's
Mm.
why he's coiled. He's not leaving. He wants his dinner. So I do not recommend anybody do this. It's incredibly foolish, but I am staring at the snake. Snake is staring at me. We're in a lockdown. And I squatted down and picked the chipmunk up by its tail, and I shook it in front of the snake's
What?
head, and I threw it as hard as I could over the snake and into the forest. Iris, that snake, oh my God, I lost my breath. I almost fainted. That snake whirled and went it was like that snake went like an arrow out of a bow. I couldn't believe how
What?
fast that snake could go when it was going.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I'm standing there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I would have been
I had
terrified.
it.
Like I would have been like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? But then you really like reacted fast and you thought about a plan. Like, let me just throw this critter over. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I really worried about other hikers. Ronnie did too. We carried extra water and stuff like that. Some people weren't well prepared, or they were not, experienced
Wow.
in that
Wow.
environment. And most of them don't make it. I mean, even the first week, you'd come to a road that crosses the trail, and there'd be a hiker sitting there on a log or whatever, crying on their phone. "Oh, I just called my mom and you come and get me. I can't do this anymore."
Oh my God, really? Oh
Oh yeah.
no. I could only imagine. And I am a proud millennial. I'll say that. I'll say I'm an older generational millennial here, but I feel like I have some of those old school instincts, and I feel like the younger millennials and what we call Gen Z now, they're just so whiny for everything. It's like it sounded like you've experienced that a lot. A lot of those Gen Z individuals that are like in their like late 20s, early 30s, So I don't know. I would be prepared to death if I could take a whole entire refrigerator with me out there. I would pack it on my bag. First aid, everything. I mean, I would just be prepared up and down, let me tell you. So
Well,
let's talk about that though. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
You were gonna say something.
the people on the trail, uh, I give Gen Z, anybody that's on the trail, that's trying to do this thing, I mean, accolades up. This is unbelievable. And we met many wonderful young people, and they were very friendly. Everybody had a trail name.
Oh,
My
nice. What
Yeah,
was
Ronnie
yours?
gave me my trail name, which was Randbo.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, well, I can tell you a funny story about that one. But anyway, and then Ronnie was a commercial pilot after the war. He mostly flew freight, not people, but so his trail name was Attitude Indicator because he's trying to change his attitude about all this overwhelming grief and everything that he's feeling from the loss of his wonderful wife. And
Yeah, I like that.
so he was kind of trying to use that, but the people we met, one day I met, well, you get into a bubble where you see the same people. Now, most of the hikers were going faster than we were, but then we would go longer. And the other times at the end of the day, I would pass people that had passed me 2 or 3 times during the day because they would stop. We never stopped. And, and, uh, and then I would see him one day. There's an Oriental gentleman there. I'm going to say he looked like a samurai warrior with the head.
Oh.
He had the robes, right? And he had a headpiece on that was very elaborate. He could have had a sword underneath his robes, I swear to God. He looked like a samurai, but he had a full pack, short, stocky, very handsome man, very friendly. He seemed to always have a smile on his face. And one day I
Wow.
was struggling pretty bad, I guess. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Rambo, let me hold your hands. I want to say a prayer for you to take away the pain in your knees." So we're
Oh.
standing in the middle of the trail holding hands, and he's, praying out loud. And there wasn't a lot of hikers, but there was a few going by. And this goes on like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I hear him say Macbeth. And I
Mm.
realized he's quoting Shakespeare.
Wow.
So can you picture this? The two of us standing there. I'm 4 or 5 inches taller than he is. He looks like a warrior. I look like an old man holding hands and in praying. And people are walking by. And finally I said, I think I feel a lot better. And he goes, okay, good. I'm better. This helped. And you know what? I heard the funny part was my niece, the pain went away.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
god, that is so funny.
it
Are you
was.
sure this person wasn't a ghost or something? A samurai ghost or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, the people. And then one night, Ronnie was really. We didn't talk much at night. We just kind of made our food, get ready to go to bed, and whatever. But one night, Ronnie said, "Bro, there's a lot of weird people out here." And I looked at him and said, "Ronnie, everybody out here is weird." And Ronnie goes, "Bro, we're not weird. We're normal. I'm just talking about." I said, "Ronnie, every single one of us out here is weird. Normal people don't do this. They just don't. I'm telling you. Every one of us is weird."
Oh my god, that is so funny. Let me ask you something, Rand. I just have to ask you this. I mean, was there truly a moment where you ever felt like quitting? And like what kept you going when your mind and your body was saying enough? I mean, you said you experienced the knee pain and this, samurai Japanese warrior. I guess it came. I think it was a ghost. I'm just gonna say it how it is. I think a ghost came and helped you. But was there ever a time you felt like quitting there?
Oh yeah. Actually, I didn't go the whole way. I made it to. Well, we got into Massachusetts, and I'm climbing Wilcox Mountain, and there's a rock slide at the top. There's pictures in the book, and you will see them of the rock slide. And there's pictures in the book of a lot of the hikers with their trail names sometimes, because I wrote down
Nice.
most of the trail names. There's pictures of all kind of critters and everything, and there's a lot of pictures of rock slides. Most people don't. The Appalachian Mountains are mostly rock, and
Mm.
and in Pennsylvania it's all rocks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you will see a picture in there, and you would say to yourself, "There is no way." And this is what I said to myself when I took the picture. There is no way that we're supposed to climb up that rock slide. And then I would look all the way up the top as far as I could see, and there'd be a white slash mark. And I go, "You gotta be kidding me." So I'm
Mm.
climbing up this rock side on Wilcox Mountain, and I get to within 10 feet of the top, Iris. And if I had just fallen on my face, it would have been fine. But I started to fall, and I stabbed with one of my poles, and it slipped. And then so I stabbed with the other one, and it swirled me around 180
Oh my
degrees.
god,
And
I'm
then I did a
sorry. Oh.
swan dive. So instead of falling 4 or 5 feet, I fell like 20 feet.
Mm.
Oh my God. I closed my eyes. I will never, ever forget it. I closed my eyes because I knew it was going to hurt bad, or maybe even knock me completely senseless. But and when I hit, what happened was my left foot caught between two rocks, and that stopped me. Otherwise, I would have died probably, almost certainly. But
Oh my god.
and when I hit, it was I will never forget it. The pain was I couldn't even bear to open my eyes for a couple minutes, just laying there in total agony.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah, and
goodness. Well,
then
I'm glad
finally I
you're
opened.
here.
Yeah, I'm covered with blood, my elbows, my hands, my face. And I
Mm.
crawl up to the top, and I'm standing on the trail. When I got up there, the trail was earthen. It was flat. I was at the top. And I
Oh.
stood there. I got up finally, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going back down this mountain. I'm not. I can't do it. So I turned. I got 9 miles to go to get out, right?
Mhm.
I turned and started walking, and I met my brother a couple hours later. Ronnie always hiked south, and I almost always hiked north. So we didn't hike together. Uh, we had two vehicles. There's roads crossing the Appalachian Trail, a lot of places every 10 to 15 miles. So we had vehicles with all our supplies. I like to brag that I slept in a tent every night on the Appalachian Trail, which is true, but a lot of times my truck was only like 10 feet away, right? So Ronnie would go wherever we were. Like we wake up, we're on the trail, our vehicles are there. He would drive down the road, go down the valley, go up to the next road. He would walk south. I would go north, and when he got to my truck, he would drive it around and come back up to where he had left his car, and we just stay there. That's kind of how we did
Wow.
a lot of it. Otherwise, I don't
Mhm.
think we could have done it with the full pack. We could go 10 miles a day uh, and be totally wiped out. But so. That's
How about
how
food? How about food? How was that like? Like, tell us a little bit. Like, how many breaks did you guys take in between? Because I gotta have a snack. I mean, an apple or something in between. But how was that? I'm just curious. Throughout
I
the day.
carried. I carried 2 bottles of water. Each one was 24 ounces. I carried a first aid kit, emergency supplies, food. We never, when I was hiking and when Ronnie was hiking, we never stopped until we met each other. Most of the hikers would go a mile or two, rest, eat, and then go on. We didn't do it that way. And we would just eat something when we met each other. And here's another really funny thing. So Ronnie was keeping track. He had a thing on his phone, an app that told him right where he was on the Appalachian Trail
Oh,
and how far he
nice.
walked and all that kind of stuff, which was good because he put it all in his journal, and then I put that in the book. So in the book, if somebody's reading it, they can vicariously do the trail because they can see where we were in the morning, where we ended up at
Nice.
night, what mountains we went over, what the elevation was like, and then see the pictures of what it was like. But so we had food in our vehicles. And the reason we carried so much stuff when we weren't carrying a full pack was because we kept running into people that didn't, I gave my water purifier away with one guy. His just froze during the night. Some people weren't very well prepared. So
Wow, which
a
is a
lot of people would
shame.
get dehydrated. I would give them water and stuff like that. Ronnie did the same thing.
Let me ask you, what was that app that Ronnie was using so that our listeners can know? Do you know?
What's it called? It's a Appalachian Trail app. If you go out to the app
Oh,
store, it'll pop right up. But here's the funny thing I was starting to tell you.
oh, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
So one
Sorry.
day, so every day we'd meet, he'd look at his thing and he'd go, I've gone 6.4 miles and you've gone 5.9, right? So he was
Mm-hmm.
always beating me. Well, one day, I think we were in Shenandoah Park. One day I just said, I'm going to get his butt. I literally jogged part of the trail, right? And when I ran into him, I could see he had a shocked look on his face, like, how did he get here so fast? He actually said it out loud. How did you get here so fast? So then we're sitting there on a log like we always did, and he's looking at his thing. He goes, I've gone 5.5 miles and you've gone 6.1. You beat me, bro. Iris, that was the only day I beat him.
And he was disappointed. I could hear it.
He couldn't stand the thought that I could actually go
Oh
faster.
god. That's so funny. That is so funny. I love your dynamic with your brother. I think that's just amazing. Oh, it's wonderful. People would kill for a relationship like that with a brother. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my god.
When we got into the whites, so I was talking about the trail names. Mine's Rambo and his is Attitude
That
Indicator.
indicator, yeah.
Yeah, so we got in the whites. I'm going north. I'm not seeing anybody, right? And
Mm.
whatever few of them are left that are ahead of me, probably way ahead of me, actually. But Ronnie would run into a few here and there because he's going south, right? And so one day I ran into this couple, and the guy goes, and I would always say, my name's Rambo, and I'd put my hand out so that they would say, tell me what their trail name was, and then I always put it in my journal at night. And so I do that, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, we ran into your brother. I want to have my picture taken with you." I put his arm around me, and his wife is like looking at me like I'm a
Celebrity.
monster of some kind, standing way back. And the guy put his arm around me, and goes, "I thought you'd be way bigger than that, because."
Oh
And
my
then a little few hours later, I run into another couple, which normally we'd never run into couples, and the same darn thing happened again. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. So that night, we were getting ready to go to bed, and I'm thinking, well, somehow I thought of it, and I go, bro, something really weird's going on out here. And he goes, well, yeah, what's up? I said, well, I ran into two couples today, and they were like really excited to see me. And he goes, oh, yeah, I told them you were coming. And I said, so what's going on, bro? Oh, no. He's looking down at the ground. Come on, what's going on? He said, oh, well, I told them you were the guy they made the Rambo movies about.
Look at that.
I said, don't do that. You're going to get me killed. Some guy's going to tell, hey, I met Rambo and I killed his ass. He's
Oh
not
my
that tough.
God. Wow, that is hilarious. You were like a semi-celebrity over there or something like that on the
I
trail.
did not want to be. No, I'm just a regular guy. Trust me, I'm no Rambo.
Oh my God. Tell me, so what were some of the crazy like trail names that you met out there? Like, do you remember a couple?
Oh, I got a whole bunch of them in the book. Well, one was Fitgit.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Yeah. She was a fire plug of a lady, and it was a lawyer. I actually hiked with her one day for a couple of hours because we were lawyers and we were talking about courtrooms and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
But she used a profanity, the F word. So F it, I think I'll do it. Or no,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
F it, I'll get it, or something like. So it ended up being Fitgit.
Fit kid. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. I
So I
like
would
that.
call her when I saw her. You get in a bubble, you see the same people maybe for 2 or 3 or 4 days, maybe a week at the most, and then you tend to get into a different bubble. But yeah, her name was Fitgit. Actually, and one day I'm sitting on top of a mountain. It's really early in the morning. Nobody. We always left early. A lot of the hikers didn't even start out until 9 or 10 o'clock. Well,
Mm,
we've already been walking 3 or 4 hours,
yeah.
and so I had gotten up to the top of a mountain. Nobody's there. I'm sitting on a rock watching these raptors flying. I loved watching the raptors. There were huge hawks, and I like to watch them, see if they were going to dive bomb and come up with something, dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and Fitgit walks up to me, and she goes, Rambo, do you know there's a cottonmouth under that rock you're sitting on?
What?
You know? So I leaned way forward and looked down between my legs, and sure enough, there it was. I could see
Oh
its
my
head
God.
sticking out with its tongue flickering, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
I know. Wow.
So I
Wow.
had to I spread my legs out as far as I could and just very slowly stood up and stepped back and moved away from it. And I think it was cool enough, Iris, that it wasn't really ready to get moving. It was just kind of there, but it
Mm.
was still kind of scary anyway. But yeah,
Oh my God. Oh my God. I definitely would love to, get a copy of this book and just read it. You just it's just very inspiring. Let me ask you something. I mean, because it seems like you lived that full life. I mean, you've done military service. You mentioned your law career. I mean, personal battles. I mean, this is just such an incredible journey. But I wanted to ask you for our listeners right now that are feeling stuck, tired, or like life passing them by. I don't know, like they don't have a purpose. What would you tell that person about starting over or chasing something new or simply not giving up? What would you tell that listener right now?
try to imagine yourself in a better place one step at a time. Try to imagine yourself, whatever your problem, if you have a difficulty with an addiction, right? Or maybe you're getting old and you feel like your medical problems are overwhelming you and you're sitting on the couch spending way more time watching TV than you really want to and you're not doing your hobbies anymore and to just say, no, I don't have to live like this. I could, what the heck? I might better get moving, one step at a time. Start going back to church or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast early last year, one of my first ones I did, and afterwards the host said to me, "My dad's a police officer, but he's right now he's not working because he's drinking so much, and I'm really worried about him."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Well, I'll send him the book, and that's the whole idea. Maybe this will inspire him to do something different." And the guy kind of panicked a little bit and said, I said, if you give me his address, I'll send him the book. I'll autograph it and send it to him. And he said,
Oh.
well, let me think about it. And then about a month later, I got an email from the host that said, yeah, here's his address, but don't you say a word about me. I don't want him to know I had anything to do with this. So I sent, I got the book, a copy and autographed it. And I said, dear so and so, I understand you're struggling a little bit. Doesn't have to be like that. Happy trails, and sign my name. Send it to him. Well, gosh
Mm.
darn it, Iris. Probably 5 weeks later, I got an email from the guy, and it said, "I don't know why you sent me this damn book, but I really liked it, and I'm going to do
Oh.
something." and I'm going to do something different.
Wow.
See, that just struck my heart because we help people. We don't even know we're helping them sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. I want to try to inspire. I think God kept me here. God gave me a connection with him, which I must have had all along, or I wouldn't have been survived the war, let alone anything else. But for a reason. And when I finally got sober, and I struggled horribly, but when I made a connection with a higher power and I had a man helping me to learn how to do all that stuff, my whole life changed, and I turned all my difficulties over to God.
Yeah.
That makes my life so meaningful, and I don't know. Recently, I was working with a guy, and he goes, Rand, if you could go back and maybe like in your 50s or something and do this and have a different path, would you do it? And I said, no, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't know what I know now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
have the wisdom and all that. And then another guy asked me, how do you feel? And I said, I feel joy. I feel joy. Joy.
Hmm.
I never have had I've got all kinds of problems we're not going to talk about, but, uh, but health wise, I certainly struggle with some things, but I'm at the right where I'm supposed to be, right?
Yeah. That's
Talking to you,
phenomenal.
and we're going to inspire people, hopefully in your audience. That, hey, I'll tell you this too. There's a lady who is in her old age struggling physically for sure, but every day she gets her walker, her oxygen bottle, and she goes to a meeting that I go, meetings that I go to. And she comes in there all stooped over, barely moving, big grin on her face, happy as heck to be there. Sits down when it's her turn. She shares something. She's helping people, and she goes home. And she goes home with joy. You can just tell it,
Oh
right?
man. That's
One step
phenomenal.
at a time.
Yeah, yeah, that's phenomenal. And I love that. And you mentioned taking 500 pictures throughout this journey, which is so phenomenal. And you mentioned how you inspired this individual, this gentleman, which is phenomenal. Now he's going to be chasing something that he hasn't done or that he wants to pursue. But is that hope? Is that the hope here that you desire that you people feel after reading your wonderful book, A Spiritual Passage? Not just what they will learn or what would stay with them, but is that the hope here, the takeaway?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah,
that's awesome. Would
right.
you go back and trail again?
Actually, we have been doing a section every year, a little section with family and friends. And last year we skipped it for a variety of reasons. And then my brother just asked me the other day, "You want to do another section?" I said, "Sure."
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah, so
love
I'm not
it.
walking 11 miles in one day. That's for darn sure. But we can do 2 or 3 mile sections, right? So,
So, where is our attitude indicator right now? Like, what's going on with Ronnie? What's Ronnie doing now? We just want to know because we're curious.
oh, he lives in Utah still. He moved up to uh, Salt Lake City. He has a daughter there with their family. He's very involved in the church. He comes east every year and he visits all the kids. I mean, 7 kids,
Oh,
27 grandchildren, now 30 great grandchildren. The poor guy, every week he's sending out birthday cards, graduation, this and that. I said, "What do you do for gifts?" He makes things for them, but he mostly just
oh,
sends out $5 to each one because if you add it
yeah,
all up, you can't afford to do it
yeah,
anymore. Ronnie
yeah.
has an awesome life, and his family loves him
Oh
dearly.
my
And
God,
he makes
that's
an
awesome.
impression on everybody wherever he goes. He's got a heart of gold.
Oh my God, I love that. So, what else is going on with you, Brad? Like, we want to know, like, before you let our listeners know where they could purchase your beautiful book or where they could find you, what else do you have stored in the pipeline coming in the near future? Are you working on anything else or still planning any more hikes?
Yeah, I still walk 7 miles a day. Besides my recovery program work that I do, I just published my second book with the publisher called
Nice.
the Syracuse Hitman versus the Shoe Repairman. And it's based on a true story of a guy I knew in my recovery program who's no longer with us, but he was a pretty nasty guy when he was younger. Turned his
Wow.
life around when he got sober, so it's loosely based on his story. Um, I did a presentation up to Syracuse University recently about some I wrote about the war, a little piece, and I'm doing a presentation at Oasis, which is
Mm.
it's a national organization that has programs for older people, 55 and up. So I'm actually putting on a PowerPoint presentation. Iris, I am so busy, I don't even know whether I'm coming or going.
But that's
And
a good thing.
I love it, man. I'm gonna go until I drop. That's it. That's the whole.
Yeah, yeah. At least you're not confined in a nursing home and doing, I was not saying that nursing homes are bad, but at least you're out there doing things. I mean, staying active. I love that. Busy is good. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where can our listeners find you? I mean, we want to purchase this beautiful book. You got a lot of good things coming. And again, for our listeners, the book is called A Spiritual Passage. It's beautiful. I love the name. But where can they find you?
Well, I have my website, randtimmerman.com. It's just my name, lowercase, randtimmerman.com. And or you can just Google. Believe it or not, if you put my name in, just Rand Timmerman on Google, all kinds of stuff will pop up because I've done a fair amount of podcasts and things. Or if you Google a spiritual passage, my book pops up. You would think there'd be
Nice.
10 books with that title, but there aren't.
Yeah.
Yep, it pops right up. It's on Amazon. It's on Thrift Books. It's on pretty much all the book sites. And my second book is just coming out now, so that's going to be available too. But uh,
Mm.
yeah, and now I'm working on a third book.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you know what? I'm going to sit here and attest to your statement. I just Googled you and your picture came up. So I just want people to know. And you look so cute with your hat out there in that trail. I love it. And the green, everything. You look like you were going to battle. That's what you were going to do. I love that. Oh my God. Rad, I just wanted to say your story is so powerful in a way that makes it feel real, just not polished, not perfect, but it's just honest and that's what people need, right? When people are listening to this, these are the kind of conversations I like to bring my audience members. So again, I want to thank you for choosing Conversations with Iris to tell your beautiful story. I mean, you're just phenomenal. And it feels like you're just getting started. You got a lot more to go. So I love that.
Yeah, I do too. I am so appreciative of my higher power changed my life.
I am. This is phenomenal. I can't even say. But thank you so much for joining the show, Rad. This has been wonderful. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Iris. I really appreciate it too. You have a wonderful podcast, and I hope your audience really appreciates what you do and likes our time together.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners out there, if this episode spoke to you, I know it did. I always like to tell you guys this. I'm a broken record here. Go ahead and share it with someone who needs that reminder that life is not over. It's just simply getting started. I mean, you just heard Rambo's story. Come on, you got to feel some type of inspirement in there in your soul and your heart. Make sure you continue to subscribe, leave a review, and come back every Friday because these episodes drop every Fridays. Fridays are fun days. Con mucho amor, this has been Conversations with Iris. Thank you all and have a good one. Thank you, Rambo.
Thank you.